Well, welcome. For the last couple of weeks, we've been talking about how to deal with your anger, and we've looked at some of the psychological issues. It's a secondary emotion, and anger has many faces. But today I'd like to do a little Bible study with you. God actually has in His Word an anger management program. You know, some people you hear that, they have a big problem and the judge, says they have to go to this anger management deal. Well, guess what? God has had this in Scripture for a long time. And it's under one particular verse, and it was written by James, who was Jesus' half-brother, and it's actually the first book written in the New Testament. And the context is this early Jewish Christian group they're dispersed, they've lost homes, many have been separated from families, they've had economic tragedy happen, they're being persecuted, and he's telling them how to deal with some of these emotions. And he says, "My dear friends, take note of this. Everyone should be quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to anger, for the anger of man does not achieve the righteous life that God requires." Now you say, where's the anger management plan? Listen very, very carefully. Now I want to walk you through this. You can use this today in your life. Step one is be quick to hear. Now what he means by that, your immediate response when you feel anger coming up, be quick to hear God, others, circumstances. Be a receptive listener instead of a reactionary responder. Most of us, when we respond in anger, it's because we're not listening, we're not taking it in. We respond very quickly. And the question you want to ask is, what is this anger telling me? What's really going on inside? Now, listen carefully to some very specific things. After we're quick to hear, it says slow to speak. Listen to these verses from Scripture. I mean, this is really powerful. When there are many words, sin is not absent, but he who holds his tongue is wise. That's Proverbs 10:19. Proverbs 13:3, he who guards his lips guards his life, but he who speaks rashly will come to ruin. Or Proverbs 29:20, do you see a man who speaks in haste? There is more hope for a fool than him. So my immediate response when I feel angry is I want to listen instead of react. The second thing I want to do is I want to slow down before I speak. And it's interesting, some people actually count to 10. One of our founding fathers actually would count to 100. I've known people that have had problems, you're a spewer and you say, I can't stop, I can't stop. I actually have a friend who went into sort of training to overcome this in his life with this anger. And he would bite his lip on the inside of his lip and bite the lip before he would speak. And actually the pain helped him not to react. And then the third thing here is it says not only, be slow to speak, slow to listen, but to really allow God to speak to you before you respond through you. Anger can actually ruin relationships, and you know that. But here we have a program by God where He says, tell you what, first, be quick to hear, be slow to speak, slow down, and be slow to anger. Ask, why am I angry? What's going on inside? This is a secondary emotion. So as we close today, let me ask you, what makes you angry the most often? Okay, maybe write this down. Who makes you angry the most often? What situation is recurring that you find it happens and you get angry? See, if you begin to identify the who, the what, and the when of anger, then you pre-decide how you're going to respond. I'm going to listen, not react. I'm going to slow my pace before I speak. I'm going to ask, why am I angry? It's a secondary emotion. What's going on inside? It will take practice, but I will tell you this. You can break the pattern of spewing, stuffing, and leaking. And as you do, you'll experience what Jesus said. You can know the truth, and the truth will set you free.